City, the Edo State capital, was on a standstill on Monday night as Super Eagles players arrived in the Asian city ahead of the 2021 AFCON qualifier match against the Lured Stars of Sierra Leone. The crew, led by Super Eagles chief coach Garnet Roy, also inspected the newly reconstructed Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium, venue for the match, built for Friday, November 13th in the city. Now, the Super Eagles will square off against the Leone Stars, as said, at the Ogbomudia Stadium before the reverse fixture in Freetown on November 17th. The three-time African champions are leading Group L with 6 points from 2 games after victories over the Republic of Benin and Lesotho.
All right, for more on those stories, this particular sports story, Amaju Pinnick, he joins us now. Amaju, glad to have you join us.
It's a privilege.
Good,
for me
fantastic.
to be
all right, the Super Eagles will be playing the AFCON qualifiers against Sierra Leone in Benin City this weekend. What should we expect? That Eagles should win, but I don't know about you. What should we expect really? And the question of whether fans will attend the game or not, clarify.
Yeah, the Super Eagles, they are conditioned and they are primed to win those 2 games, the home and away game. And we have worked very, very well in trying to achieve this. We had 2 friendly games about a month ago, and that really propelled them to ensuring that we qualify for the AFCON 2022 now, with 2 games to spare, and we are very excited about their commitment, their passion for the country, and we believe very strongly that we'll win both legs and qualify.
Thank you, Mr. Pinnick. We hear that you are backing South Africa's Patrice Motsepe for the presidency of football in the highest body in Africa, that's the CAF. As the former vice president of the CAF, a lot of people expected that you were going to run, but I guess that kills all speculation.
Yeah, thank you. And this is the first time I'm going to be saying this in public. A few months ago, the like minds in CAF came together and working very discreetly, because a lot of people are not happy with events as they've unfolded in CAF. That has to do with a lot of impropriety, or otherwise. And at that point, they decided that they were going to give me their maximum support, to ascend the throne, and we were working very religiously in trying to achieve that. But along the line, my discussion with FIFA in the past, I know that FIFA is well intentioned about CAF. FIFA wants to do a lot, committed over $1 billion to CAF in terms of infrastructures, building at least a major stadium in each of the 54 MAs, spending about $20 million. Everything FIFA tries to do, but you see, FIFA needs the enabling environment to achieve this. So you're talking about a reform that difficult questions will be asked, difficult reforms can be done. So we look at it and say, okay, well, at the end of the day, what do we need to do? We need somebody that is completely and totally independent, somebody that can take difficult decisions, somebody that can look at you and say, no, this is wrong. So it's not about Amaju Pinnick. It's not about those guys with like minds, my colleagues. It's about the future of this continent. It's on that basis that for now we decided to support the person of Dr. Patrice Motsepe. And indeed, if you see somebody that has superior qualities than you, the only thing you need to do is just to queue behind him, wait for your time and give him the support. And that's what we have decided to do. So for now, I think we've decided, my executive committee has approved that I can go for the FIFA Council, which is equally and very, very important for Nigeria. Since the exit of Adamu in that very revered committee, no Nigerian has been in that executive committee, and Nigeria is the #1, is the most successful footballing nation in the continent. And beyond being a footballing country, Nigeria accounts for 16% of this country's, of the continent's population. Yeah, we are, we've just been playing some kind of peripheral politics. So I believe now is the time that we should be very central and key. And it's not about Nigerian, it's about the continent of Africa having a very strong vocal voice at the center. So it's on that basis we decide to support a man with sterling qualities, a man that is so untainted, a man that has tentacles within and outside the continent of Africa, you know, and this is somebody that we believe that will change the face of Africa in terms of football, because based on my discussions with him, I suggested him to the president of the, his name to the president of the South Africa Football Association, Danny Jordan. I said, what about Patrice? This is a critical and a major stakeholder. He owns a club, one of the best-run clubs in the continent, Mamelodi Sundowns. He's one of the biggest miners in the continent. He has been very consistent. He's untainted. So you need somebody like that we add, because we are going to ask for what's called genuine reforms in CAF. We had difficult or impossible questions to be asked. We had difficult and impossible decisions to be taken, all in just to reposition CAF, just to reposition African football, so that they can stand at par with UEFA. Every day we see UEFA, they are playing Nations League, they are playing. What are we doing in CAF? So the truth is, we just believe that we don't want to get discouraged. We want to, at this point, take CAF to that level. And like everybody said, oh, Amaju, why did you decide to do that? And I refer them to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. For every time there's a season, possibly this is not my season to be CAF president. I'm just going to be 50 by December. By God's grace, there's a long time. If it's God's wish, I can still come and be president of CAF someday. But at the moment, I'm satisfied being a member of the FIFA Council. I'll be satisfied if I get elected to the FIFA Council. And that is the truth. You know, I'm happy. Let me also mention something in passing. A colleague of mine mentioned to me, just said, in Nigeria, you guys are taking everything. You are the DGWTO, you are the Deputy General Secretary, United Nations, you are the President, African Exim Bank, you are the President, African Development Bank. What are you leaving for us? So let's live and let's live, you know. So like I just believe, like I said clearly, and this will also cement the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa, you know. So we are very happy about that. And I want to seize opportunity in calling every football stakeholder to support Patrice Motsepe. Okay. Trust me, it will change the face of football in the continent. Thank you.
Indeed, time will tell, because some would say that was how you also backed the outgoing CAF president. But let's talk about FIFA Council, which you mentioned. What do you hope to achieve? That was strategic, shelving your ambition in CAF and gunning for a seat in Council for FIFA.
FIFA Council is as strategic as being the president of CAF. Trust me. FIFA Council is the highest decision-making body in football in the world. I'm a member of the organizing committee for FIFA competitions. Every football stakeholder, their ambition is to be in the FIFA Council. And that is it, where the critical decisions of football is taken. So, and that is it. So I believe Nigeria, with our pedigree, Nigeria is a very proud footballing nation. With what we've achieved in football, Nigeria should be a recurring decimal in the FIFA Council. And that's what we want to achieve. Even if I leave there tomorrow or the day after, in Nigeria should always be in the FIFA Council. You know, we can't account for 16% of the African population, and you have 7 seats from Africa, and there'll be no Nigerian. To me, it's unthinkable. So I just believe that we should do that. And it's not about Nigeria. You see, when I speak in our committee meeting, nobody can intimidate me, because we cannot. We have the richest resume in terms of female football. We have the richest resume in terms of age grade football in the world. And if you look at what we've achieved in football, there are very few countries in the continent. We've won the Olympics, we've won practically everything apart from the main World Cup. And I believe we will get to that promised land. So the truth is, we must be among decision makers in football. And that will trickle down to every small nation in the continent. Because I can tell you for free, if we're there, if our voices are raised very objectively, very scientifically, in the FIFA Council, the whole of African voice will be clear and loudly heard. And that is the truth. So if you look at, for example, Patrice gets elected, he's South African, he's talking, the next thing he say, my colleague wants to speak, I stand up to speak Nigeria. Of course, they'll say something new is happening here in the FIFA Council. And that is a dream. So it's not about saying that we are going there for personal ambition or going there for Photoshop or going there for the petty allowances. No, it's about the continent. The continent needs proper, able, and very strong representation in the council.
All right, Amaju, before we let you go, let me get back to football. There's been talk, really, that Nigeria today, the team, doesn't seem to have a particular playing pattern. What can you say about that?
Yeah, let me ask you, do you think we don't have a playing pattern and we win games every day? And we draw against Brazil, we draw against Ukraine, we defeated Argentina. We have a brilliant playing pattern in our game. Our game starts from the back to the defense, straight to the midfield. You take it to the side, the wings, and straight to the goal. It's as simple as that. So I don't know how you want to define it, but we have a serious playing pattern. And if you know Nigeria's game, but you see, what we are trying to do is also to take it to the next level. And that's why we brought in somebody like Eguavoin as the new technical director. He will work with the technical crew in fashioning out what you can now see visibly as a playing pattern. But the playing pattern is there, but you want to make it visible, we have to work with time and also with the tide. So that I can tell you.
Thanks, Mr. Pinnick. Let me ask you about CAF again, because with Nigeria supporting Patrice, what is Nigeria getting in return, if anything, knowing that for a while Nigeria has been maligned on the African continent in terms of African football?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear because the South African Football Federation, they have endorsed my candidature for the seat of the FIFA Council, which is very strong. They have a huge following as well. And we've got a couple of endorsements. And I believe very strongly that come March, 12th, I will be elected into the FIFA Council by the special grace of God. That I can tell you.
Well, wish you the best in all of that. But let me ask you, globally, we've seen how sports, especially football, has been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and especially for the players themselves. Can you tell us what NFF has done in the meantime for Nigerian sportsmen and women?
Yeah, we've done quite a lot on our part. We went out, we got our players first to sensitize the public about the negative impact, the huge negative impact of the pandemic. And of course, on our own, again, we went out to give out some palliatives, especially to the epicenters, Lagos, Kano, and Abuja. Then FIFA now came up with their own palliatives, which of course we have right now. We have, I tweeted last week, we have $1 million from FIFA. $500,000 will go for the female football, while $500,000 will go for male football. I spoke with the General Secretary of CAF this morning, and he has told me that by tomorrow we are going to receive the balance $300,000 from CAF. On our own, we've been able to ring fence about $200,000 from our sponsors, and in January we're also expecting another $500,000 from CAF, from FIFA. Now, all this put together, 2 weeks ago we met with our auditors, PwC. Of course, you know, they're one of the biggest, and one of the most enterprising auditing firm in the world. We met with them, with our finance team, in fashioning out how to disburse these funds. And they are working out by tomorrow. I'm sure they're going to submit it to me, because PwC, apart from the standard, apart from the guidelines given to us by FIFA, PwC will ensure that it's in line with global best practices. So it's not just saying palliative is for somebody's pocket. No, what is this particular? Is it to pay wages? Is it to pay for your hotels? To pay for XYZ? There must be a reason why that money should be given to you. It's not just for you to go and buy rice or buy gari or anything. No. The palliative is meant to cushion the effect of the pandemic. For example, people that were not able to go to work, for example, you need to fuel your generator, you need to do a lot of things. This is what this palliative is all about.
All right, Amaju, Osimhen is playing for Napoli, left France and went there. That's a first division club. I think, I know if I'm correct, he's playing for Fulham. And then you have one or two other players, playing for top teams in Europe. I know that when Westerhoff was here, he did seem to have a plan of making sure that our players get into the best teams in Europe. Do we have that sort of plan to make sure that those who are playing for our national team get the best of clubs in Europe?
Well, if you look at Osimhen, it started from under 17. That was when I just newly got elected. I led them to Chile, and he was the highest goal scorer in that tournament. And he started, from Wolfsburg, then to one other club on loan, then to Lille, and now to Napoli. Osimhen and Chukwueze, they are the next big things to come out from the continent of Africa. That I can tell you for free. Because these players, they are so passionate about the game of football. They are so passionate about their country. Osimhen called me 2 days ago. An airline could not carry him because of XYZ. And he said clearly that, do I get another ticket? We said, no, we're going to get a ticket for you. And I'm happy he has arrived. So we are very happy. You can see their passion, their commitment to this country. So the only thing that we can do is to ensure that they are in the right path. Then coming back to your question, you know, of course, there are a lot of talent. There are a lot of talent in this continent. There are a lot of talent in this country. And we are ensuring that from this under-17 or from the last under-17, we have our tournament called the Next Eagles Challenge. From the Next Eagles Challenge sponsored by Zenith Bank, we've been able to pick out some truly underage players. And from there, we nurture them, we monitor them, condition them, and prime them for the Super Eagles. And that's why they are christening the Next Eagles as, you know, as their name.
Thank you, Mr. Pinnick. Let's also speak about the Super Falcons, because you recently pledged to give more support to our women's team. Tell us more about what kind of support the Super Falcons can expect from the NFF. I understand that the senior team now has a new coach.
Yeah, the Super Falcons, they are the most successful club and team in the world in terms of club and continental championship. They've won the Falcon 9 times, as against Germany winning the European Championship 8 times and America winning the CONCACAF Championship 8 times. They are the pride of our nation. We love the Super Falcons, and they've done very, very well. It's for that reason we've gotten them a first-class coach, thanks to our consultant, Philip Consulting, that did a whole lot of work in ensuring that we got Randy. Randy is a very seasoned female coach, and he is at the moment with the University of Pittsburgh. And the beauty about him being in university, he has a brilliant relationship with them, whereby when he arrives in Nigeria, we should be able to pick some girls from there and send them, because it's all about education and playing football. So he'll be in Nigeria within the next few weeks. He will sit with the technical crew. He will sit with his boss, the General Secretary of the Nigerian Football Federation, and they are going to come out, fashion out a very solid plan for the Super Eagles, Super Falcons. We've been looking for games for them, but, you know, because of this pandemic, we've got a team in China, a country in China that wanted to play, you know, but they needed to be quarantined for 14 days. Going to Europe, they needed to be quarantined. So it's been difficult getting international friendlies for them. But like I said, they are the pride of the nation. That I say to them all the time. And I'm in touch with all my players. And at the moment, they are very happy with what we are doing. And that we need to give them all the support. And we've been giving them all the support. Thank God I came with Aisha Falode, the chairperson of the female league. She has been quite innovative, quite creative in terms of redefining and refocusing female football for better productivity. And we are giving her all the support in ensuring that they achieve that aim, because female football has come to stay, and we must not be left behind. We must not pride ourselves to say that we are the best in the continent, while other countries are catching up with us. So we want to keep that safe distance between us and other countries.
All right, Amaju, let me ask you this before you let you go briefly. The question of allowances and all that stuff for the Super Eagles, for the players, okay, even for the Falcons. Can we say it is now behind us? The players get their allowances as that when due, so they can concentrate on playing football?
For the Super Falcons, we are not owing them a dime, you know, and for the Super Eagles, we are owing them some money, that I can say, but the government has intervened very, very seriously in ensuring that within the next few weeks, everything we owe to the Super Eagles will be cleared, and also to the... And from our own part, we've been able to clear some of the junior teams that we're owing. So, but what we tried to do, we just came out from a sponsorship. We went to secure, you know. What we're trying to do is to achieve 100% self-sustenance within the next 2 years of my stewardship to Nigerian football. We would have done that by last year, but because of the toxic atmosphere created around the Nigerian Football Federation, no sponsor want to come in at that point. Even the few sponsors you had wanted to pull out, but we've been able to achieve some level of sanity and stability. We pray it continues. If it continues, I can guarantee you within the next 2 years, and with Patrice coming into the fray, Nigerian football will have 100% self-sustenance, and you will no longer hear about players being owed. We've been doing it for the past few years, but we want to perfect it and make it a reality.
Well, that's good to hear, and we will definitely be keeping touch with that. Many thanks to you, President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, for joining us on Newsday today.